everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about all of the fragrances that I wore last week. So I got into a lot of the samples and decants that were sent to me over the last month or so, and I got super crazy. I don't know how I wore as many fragrances as I did, but I've got an absolute boatload here, so I'm gonna jump right in. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the full bottles that I wore first, and then I'll get into all the samples and decants. So one of the first fragrances that I wore is this one here. This is Giardino de Sensi, and somebody said you don't pronounce the G. It's not Vaniglia, it's Vanillia. So kind of like you're saying, I don't know, Vanillia. So Vanillia Essenziale. I pulled this out for my vanilla video and I didn't want to put it away until I wore it. This smells something like Hypnotic Poison from Dior, but this is maybe a little more nutty, a little sweeter, not quite as powdery. It's really beautiful though. If you like Hypnotic Poison, I think you would really like this one. I picked it up off of makeupstore.com for like $5 or $6. Really inexpensive. I really love it, especially for bedtime. It doesn't last all that well on me, but again, I've only tested this in warmer weather. I will go back and retest all of these in cooler weather and I'll let you know how they perform then. But yeah, for bedtime, I can get, I don't know, a couple hours before I end up going to bed. I can't smell it when I wake up in the morning. So anyways, that is Giardino de Sensi Vanillia Essenziale. And before I move on, I'm gonna take a break and show you guys this little baby that just came into my life the last couple weeks. I've been literally like waiting on him hand and foot 24/7 every single day, 7 days a week. Like never am I not like taking care of this little baby. So I'll be right back. So this is the baby. He's not gonna let me hold him for super long because he was totally feral when I got him. And he was skin and bones. But he's coming along every single day. He's so sweet. As soon as he gets to the point where he's really, really comfortable around people and I can hold him for long periods of time, I'm gonna get him to the vet. But yeah, this is the new little baby. Charlotte named him Pistol. He is completely black. Even the pads of his paws are black. I'm gonna go put him back. Okay, so yeah, that's the new little baby, and I'm currently like on a no buy of anything because I'm putting all of my like extra funds and energy into him and getting him rehabbed, and yeah, I just love him so much. He's such a sweetheart. But anyways, moving on. Okay, next I wore Stella McCartney Pop. I love this fragrance. Usually this performs way better on me than it did this last time. Oh my gosh, but I absolutely love this. To me, Stella fragrances are like Chloe fragrances. I just love all of them. I just think they're so classy, so easy to wear, just beautiful fragrances. This is basically synthetic tuberose and synthetic sandalwood. Very simple, very linear, but so nice. Really kind of sweet, feminine, soft. I think I got about 4 hours out of this before it wore off completely, but and you'll see that that's kind of a running theme. A lot of these fragrances wore off pretty quickly, so I was immediately able to put something else on, and that was the case with this. I think I got about 4 hours out of it. Usually this is better for me though. I can usually get, I don't know, 7 or 8 hours, but for whatever reason it just didn't perform well. It could have been the heat. It was really hot the day I wore this, so it could have been that. But yeah, I love Stella McCartney Stella Pop. I have Pop Bluebell, which is also a love. So yeah, that is Stella McCartney Pop. Next, I've been waiting on this one to kind of macerate. This is genre Mello Vanillo, and I can't remember the niche fragrance that this is. It's like Escape Gourmand or something like that from, I can't even remember what house, but yeah, I knew when I very first got this, it didn't perform well on me at all. I could only get maybe like 30 minutes out of it or something. It just didn't hang around. I knew though that the longer this sat, the better it was gonna get, and the more it was gonna age, and it was gonna get richer and heavier. And thank goodness I had faith, because this thing is amazing. It's only been, I think, a few months since I've had this, and it's already deepened up so much to the point where, I mean, I think I could smell this on me for at least 4 hours, if not longer. I could smell it on my clothing forever, but I could smell it on my skin for like a good 4 hours, which that is such a huge jump from where we started. And I just know that as this ages, it's only gonna get better and better. So I love this fragrance. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. Genre fragrances are really difficult to get your hands on if you're not on Facebook. So thankfully, beautiful Libre was able to get this for me, and we did a swap. And yeah, so I was able to get a full bottle, and I'm so excited to have it. I love it. It's one of my favorite vanillas, I think, in my collection now. I pulled this out from my vanilla video, and I was like, I'm just gonna give it a try. It's still a little warm out. It's not that, you know, I haven't had it that long, but I'm just gonna spray it on and just see what happens. And oh my gosh, I was surprised in such a good way. So anyways, that is Genre Parfums Mello Vanillo. Okay, next I did a little combination. So I knew I wanted to wear my Kuumba made Egyptian musk oil. This is just a really beautiful, it's a really beautiful Egyptian musk. Clean, warm, skin-like Egyptian musk. I love it. It's really, really thick though, so I had to take my stopper out, which I am gonna do a short for you guys showing you how to take stoppers out. I take them out all of the time, so I will definitely do that so that you guys know how to take them out. But I love this. This reminds me a lot of Smells Like a Stero, but Smells Like a Stero is a million times better because it lasts forever. Smells Like a Stero is an absolute beast. I can only get a few hours out of this. I knew I wanted to layer my Kayali Musk 1112 over, or sorry, Musk 12 over it. Because I don't get much use out of this perfume because Kayalis just don't last well on me. This fragrance also, you won't be able to see it, but something's wrong, like the sprayer's messed up, so it just shoots a stream. Like it just shoots a stream. So I'm like shooting a stream all over me. It was so weird. But anyways, this is really beautiful. I love this. I absolutely love the way this smells. This is like a clean, warm, kind of white ambery white musk. Really, really warm, skin-like, gorgeous. I so wish that this lasted on me or performed well on me at all. I have to layer it over something to get any time out of it at all. But even then, this is gone in like 15 minutes. All I could smell after about 15 minutes was the Kuumba made. So yeah, beautiful combination, but neither of them last super well. If you like Kuumba made Egyptian musk, I would highly recommend getting Stero. Smells Like a Stero. It's very, very similar, but oh my, and it's only like, this is only 1/3 of an ounce. Yeah, this is only 3.7 mil, and you're gonna get a full 10 mil from the Smells Like a Stero, and it's like $14. I can't like recommend it enough. It's so much better. But yeah, I do like this combination. It just doesn't last very long. So anyways, that is Egyptian musk from Kuumba made and Kayali Musk 12. And then you guys will see I was kind of on like a vanilla / musk kick this past week. So I pulled out my Zara MSK 004 NTL. I absolutely adore this. This is a beautiful, sweet, slightly powdery, warm, almondy, clean, warm musk. I already said warm, but it's a super warm fragrance. I love it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So yeah, this doesn't do great in high heat, and it was pretty darned hot the day I wore it. I still, even in high heat, I got a good four or so hours out of it though. So I have really, really good luck with this fragrance and how it performs. I like it a lot more in cooler weather though. In cooler weather, I can get 8+ hours out of it. It just performs super well on me. One of my favorite fragrances from Zara, hands down. I think it is such an amazing little fragrance. Super simple, very linear, nothing groundbreaking, but so good. If you like Blanche Bete from Liquid Imaginaire, but that may be a little too heavy for you, or maybe it's too sweet, I think you would really like this one. Sadly, you can't get this anymore though, so you will have to go onto the gray market, eBay or Mercari, something like that, Poshmark maybe, to see if you can find a bottle, but it's worth it. I love it. So anyways, that is Zara MSK 004 NTL. Okay, speaking of Blanche Bete, it is one of the fragrances that I wore this week. This is the sample that Beautiful Velvet sent me, and it was sitting there. It was just sitting there calling my name. I love this fragrance. I have a decant of it myself that I bought off of Etsy from somebody, like an 8 ml decant, I think. But yeah, this was just sitting there calling my name. This is the most delicious, powdery, sweet, almost almondy, but it doesn't have almond in it. But it smells like a sweet almond paste laid on a bed of like clean, warm, ambery musk. It's really dense and really almost gourmand smelling. It is delicious. It's so amazing. It's a lot though. It's like a big fragrance. It's, to me, it's like a very like big, heavy fragrance, but I love it. It's sweet, it's dense, it's, I don't know, clean, pasty smelling, like almond pasty smelling. It's delicious. I absolutely adore this fragrance. It's very expensive. If I could ever find a bottle of it for a decent price, I would love to have a full bottle of it. It's amazing. So that is Liquid Imaginaire Blanche Bete. Okay, next I wore this beauty. This is also from Velvet. This is Memoir Archives 08 Work From Home. I wore this, I sprayed this on in the evening because I thought I was gonna end up wearing, well, and I did. I ended up wearing it to bed that day, but I sprayed it on, I wanna say maybe between like 4 and 5 in the afternoon. And I thought for sure this was gonna wear off. And I ended up having to go out and like run an errand that evening, and I thought for sure my perfume was gonna be gone. No, this hung around on me the entire time. Now, by the time I did go to bed and then wake up the next morning, I couldn't smell it anymore, but I could smell this like the entire time I was running my errand, really all evening until I went to bed. And I remember being really, really surprised because the first time I sprayed this, I was like, oh, it's super light. It is gonna be a great bedtime scent because it's really light and delicate, but still really cozy and warm. It's like a vanilla, and I think it's got some like an espresso note in it. It's amazing. I love it. It's very warm, very cozy, sweet, almost gourmand leaning, warm, but still light and really gorgeous. And it performed really well on me, and it was hot that day too. So I'm super excited to see how this is gonna perform in the cold weather. If this does well on me in the cold weather, like if I actually, because it reminds me a lot of Skylar Vanilla Sky, like a lot of Skylar Vanilla Sky. And she said that you can find this on sale at Macy's a lot. If this ends up performing pretty well on me in the cold, I am definitely gonna buy a full bottle of this, because this is it's close. It's like, you know, it's similar to Skylar Vanilla Sky, but it actually performs well on me. So super, super excited about this one. I love it. And yeah, it will always remind me of one of my favorite people ever. So that is Memoir Archives Work From Home, or 08 Work From Home. Amazing. I cannot believe how I wore all of these fragrances. It's insane. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one. This was the sample that was sent with my French coffee from the eBay seller that Jacqueline had sent to me. And this is, I keep it in the baggie because the baggie is what has the fragrance name on it. This is Ard Al Zafran Safir Al Hub. I love this. I need to check Triple Traders to see if Triple Traders has it. Actually, I think I did check Triple Traders, and Triple Traders doesn't have it. So I'm gonna get on that same eBay seller's website and I'm probably gonna order a full bottle of this. I love this. This is sweet and perfumey berries. And some flowers, but mostly berries. And I love a good berry scent. And that's what I get from this. I have no idea what is in this. Let me see if I can find it. I feel like I couldn't even find it on Fragrantica. Okay, Al Rashad has it. And they emailed me a while ago asking me to sign up for their affiliate program, and I need to sign up for their affiliate program because I love Al Rashad, and when I can find a really great fragrance, okay, so it's $9.74 on Al Rashad, and I love this. Let me see if I can find, yeah, it just says fresh, fruity, tangerine, flowery, woody. Oh, here are the notes. Tangerine and vanilla, cedar and jasmine, and woody notes. So I don't know where I'm getting berries from, but I swear it smells like berries to me. And it smells like berries on my skin. I guess it's the tangerine and the vanilla and whatever flowers are in it, but it smells like sweet berries. I love it. I loved it on my skin. I think I was able to get a good like 3 or 4 hours out of it, which for a $9 perfume is amazing. And I love this. I love it so much. I'm so glad they sent a sample. I'm gonna have to see what they sell it for on eBay before I order from Al Rashad, which will be probably a month because I've got to take care of the baby. But yeah, when I start ordering perfume again, this is gonna be one that I get. I love it. So that is Ard Al Zafran Safir Al Hub. So good. Such a good little gem. I love finding gems. Okay, I'm gonna stick with the things that Velvet sent. I went back and re-wore Etat Libre d'Orange Ghost in the Shell. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I was not surprised at all when she said that it was a Etat Libre d'Orange fragrance because they're my favorite niche house, I think, or one of my favorite niche houses. They're one of the very first niche houses that I ever got a discovery kit from years and years ago. And I've been in love with them ever since. And this is beautiful. It's a bunch of synthetic notes, like it's a lot of molecules and synthetic notes. It's got like a milky skin accord or something in it. It's a little bit sweet. It's kind of powdery. I don't know. It's perfumey. It's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I found a full bottle of this on makeupstore.com for like $64 too, which it's I think it's one of their newer ones, so it's not easy to find a discounted bottle, but I did on Makeup Store, so I will definitely be picking up a full bottle of this at some point. I absolutely love this. So that is Etat Libre d'Orange, the Ghost in the Shell. Okay, next I wore Acqua de Parma Vaniglia. And I love this too. This is like it has something in it like, I don't even know what it is. I'll have it on the screen for you though. There's something kind of bright but really warm smelling in the top. It's a little bit spiced. It's really beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of Serge Lutens Un Bois Vanille, but if you took out the like licorice and amped up the sweetness a little bit. I really love it. It doesn't perform super well. I was only able to get, I don't know, maybe like an hour or two out of it. Oh, but I love it. And again, it's warm, so I'm gonna have to revisit these in cooler weather because a lot of times vanillas don't do super well in warm weather. They do much better in colder weather. So I'm thinking this will do better in colder weather, and it's kind of more suited to colder weather because it's like a warm, kind of spiced vanilla. Oh, I love it. It's amazing. So that is Acqua de Parma Vaniglia. Okay, and then next we have Kerosene Unknown Pleasures. This is another one that I wore to bed. I think I have a sample of this somewhere. I've got a couple samples of it somewhere, but I've never had it in a spray form. So I'm super happy to have it in a spray form. I went to town with it. I used like half of my decants. Oh my gosh, and I absolutely love it. It's delicious lemon. It's like a warm, sugary lemon fragrance. and it's amazing. I've heard CJ Scents Lemonilla is incredible, which I'm gonna order that one. As soon as I get back to ordering perfume, I'm gonna order CJ Scents Lemonilla because I've heard it's so good, like that it's the best lemon fragrance ever. But yeah, this one is really, really beautiful. This lasted forever on me too. Now I did layer this over Vaniglia, the Acqua di Parma Vaniglia, so that might have helped the longevity of this one. I haven't really had good luck with longevity when it comes to lemon fragrances in general. Like none of my Ganache fragrances, like my lemon ones, last. This one doesn't perform super well on me, but I guess it might have been because I layered it over the Vaniglia when it wore off. I could still smell this the next morning when I woke up. Like it lasted forever. So yeah, love it. I'm gonna save the rest of this for cooler weather and I adore it. It's delicious and yummy. So anyways, that is Kerosene Unknown Pleasures. Next, I pulled out this Dapper Rirana Apple Nana scent, and this one is actually super nice. I probably wouldn't buy a full bottle of it because it's, I don't know, there's nothing like special about it, but it does smell like a really high-end, like kind of sweet apple fragrance. And there is something about it that smells expensive, especially on. It smells like somebody who's really into fruity fragrances, but they don't want to smell like a teenager, but they're like a grown adult that loves fruity fragrances, but they want something like more mature smelling, more upscale smelling, like more expensive smelling. That's what this is like. This is like a more mature, more expensive smelling fruity fragrance, if that makes sense. I really loved it. I enjoyed wearing this. This lasted forever on me. I think I got a good 6, 7, 8 hours out of this. I smelled like this for a very long time. I really enjoyed it. Got about one more, and I did go to town with it. I oversprayed. And I've got about one more good wear test, or good wear in here, which again, I'm gonna save this for cooler weather. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. This one interested me enough that I would love to smell the original to see like how close the Dapper is to it. But I found the Dapper, it's like either a hit or miss. I either really like them like the Hufflepuff, or I really dislike them like the Minnie Mouse. I've only had a few hits with Dapper, and I've had a lot of misses. Their Creed Vanille Sublime, I love that one. That's in my project pan for this year. I really like that one too. It just doesn't last very long. But yeah, this one is super nice as far as Dapper goes. I really like this one. So this is Dapper's Rirana Apple Nanas. Okay, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 of the Ton Reinthal fragrances, decants that Claire sent me that I tested every single one of them this week. I'm gonna leave those for the end. So I've got 2 of these little tiny scents that were sent from Melissa. This is Thomas Kosmala No. 4 Candy. This is really beautiful, but this is a Baccarat Rouge 540 scent profile fragrance. It's really sweet and fluffy smelling, but it definitely is Baccarat Rouge 540 scent profile. And it's so funny because I was not expecting that. So I like went to town. Usually when I test these little vials, I'll put the entire vial on all at once because it's only a ml. And usually these aren't even full. So I went in with the entire vial, and after I got it all over me, I realized it was immediately drying down to smell like Baccarat Rouge 540, and I was really disappointed because I knew I was gonna smell like that for the rest of the day, and I was not wrong. I smelled like this forever. Like there was no getting around this one. There was no washing it off. It just was what it was. So I wore that one. This is a beautiful version of it. If you love Baccarat Rouge 540, but you want something maybe that doesn't, I don't think this one has the saffron in it. And this one is a little bit like sweeter, a little bit fluffier smelling, really beautiful. This one's more like, I would say, Ariana Grande Cloud or something. But if you want like a really kind of like expensive, more high-end smelling version of that, this is really beautiful. It's an absolute monster of a fragrance too. So yeah, I wore that one. That is the Thomas Kosmala No. 4 Candy. And then near, like after I'd been wearing that one for about 8 hours and it was finally starting to die down a little bit, I went in with this one. This is Maison Tahit Vicious Cacao. I'm obsessed with this. I absolutely adore this. I did have it layered over the Thomas Kosmala, and I'm pretty sure that that helped the longevity of this. I absolutely adore this. This smells like a light perfumey chocolate vanilla fragrance. It's phenomenal. I'm gonna have to look to see how much this one is. I don't know that I would pay a ton for it just because of the nature of it, but I loved this one on my skin. And this one, I don't know if it would last well on its own, but I have a feeling it would. I was able to smell this for a good like 4 hours or so. I loved it. It was gorgeous. And then this layered over the Thomas Kosmala was fantastic. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is Maison Tahit Vicious Cacao. It's so good. Okay, let's get into the Ton Reinthal. So the first one I wore is this one here called Lemon Blossom. I sprayed the entire decant on. This is really beautiful. These fragrances are so complex and take you on such a journey. They're all pretty vintage leaning. This one is one of the kind of fresher ones. This one's really citric. It's got something kind of mossy smelling in it. This one dried down to be a really beautiful kind of slightly woody citrus fragrance. This one is completely unisex. I mean, I could see this being I could see anybody wearing this, but I think it does lean just a touch feminine. Really, really fresh, really beautiful in the hot weather. This one I got somewhere, I would say between like 5 and 6 hours out of it, because I was able to spray something else on after this one wore off enough that I was comfortable spraying something else on. This one's really, really beautiful though. And again, it's kind of like a slightly vintage leaning citrus fragrance. I really love it. So that one is called Lemon Blossom. Okay, next we have this one here called Sacred Ground Nectar. I'm glad I didn't go super hard with this one, because this one is quite animalic. Like very, very animalic. To me, I get a ton of to me, this is like barnyard animalic. Now in the deep dry down, like the deep dry down, I would say after I'd been wearing this for maybe an hour, the animalic quality of it completely disappeared. And then I was left with this really beautiful, warm, kind of skin-like, I feel like this has got vanilla in it if I remember correctly, because I remember getting this really beautiful, warm, kind of fluffy, sweet, kind of like vanillic aspect. And I don't know if it's got vanilla in it or not, but this is very animalic, like barnyard animalic. I don't know what's in it. I'll of course have the notes on the screen for you, but I really enjoyed it. But this isn't one that I would recommend because I don't think very many people would enjoy it because of the really heavy animalic quality to it. But anyways, that one is called Sacred Ground Nectar. Okay, next I wore Blue Lotus OG. This one is really, really gorgeous. I'm gonna have to spray this one to remember, because I wore so many of these. Yes, I absolutely adore this. This is a gorgeous, really, really warm. It's kind of slightly resinous. This is one that I didn't even know what I was really smelling. I just remember it was really warm and kind of slightly resinous smelling. It's definitely got some kind of a really gorgeous flower in the middle, like maybe lily or something. More of a, kind of like more of a dry floral. This one's gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed this. Like all of them, it is kind of slightly vintage leaning. And yeah, the only other house that I can really compare these to is Sorry, I just had to take a drink because my voice is kind of going. Velvet and Sweet Peas. If you guys have ever smelled anything from Velvet and Sweet Peas, and chances are you probably haven't because it's a very small, very expensive, I would say niche house more than indie, because her fragrances are very, very like exclusive feeling. And her fragrances and these fragrances are very, very similar. They all have this kind of old world, vintage smell to them because the materials that they are using are just like exquisite. But yeah, I adored this one. Oh, this was one of my favorites. I would love a full bottle of this. This is incredible. Do I think these fragrances would be for everybody? No, definitely not. I think you have to have a certain appreciation for like older smells, if that makes sense. Which, you know, not everybody's into that, and I completely understand. Oh my gosh, I love this though. So that is Blue Lotus OG. This was another one that I absolutely loved. This one is called Heartache, the Hua Mei. And oh my gosh, I love this. This is fresh and a little bit spicy, but like a warm spicy, slightly green, a little bit sweet, really, really fresh smelling, like a really warm, fresh, spicy green fragrance. This one was magic on my skin. The magic with these is in the dry down. They smell great when you first spray them, a lot of them do, but a lot of the magic comes in the dry down, in the deep, deep dry down after they've taken you on this long journey of changing and smelling one way and then smelling like something completely different. And then into the deep dry down, which is where it settles, and they are magic in the deep dry down. And this one was magic. This one and the Lotus OG were, oh my gosh, I fell in love with them hard. So these are so expensive here though. These are like, I don't even know. I think they're over $300 a bottle here in the States. And I believe Ton Reinthal is based in Australia, if I remember correctly. But anyways, this one is called Heartache. The Hua Mei is amazing. Okay, next I wore Honey Amber. I saved a lot of this one because I really want to wear this. I really want to wear this in the colder weather. This is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, this is an amber, but it's really rich smelling, but it's kind of light. It's definitely kind of a dusty amber, but it's lighter. It's not a super heavy amber. And again, the magic with this one is in the dry down. I was just left with this gorgeous, warm, light, kind of musty amber, which I adore. So yeah, I saved a lot of this one because I'm definitely gonna wear the rest of this one in the colder weather because I think it's just gonna be phenomenal in in the cold. So anyways, that one is a definite winner. That one is called Honey Amber. I enjoyed so many more than I didn't enjoy with this house. I just think that they're phenomenal fragrances and I love them. Okay, this next one, this is my absolute favorite. I looked to see if I could find a bottle of this. I don't know if it's even something that is for sale because this was made like especially for Claire. This is a fragrance called Sweetie, and they made this fragrance after her sweet kitty, Sweetie, passed away. And this fragrance was kind of made in her memory. You guys, I cannot tell you how amazing this perfume is. I love this one. When I smell it in the bottle, I love it. I think it's phenomenal. But again, this one is on the skin and in the dry down. This is gorgeous. This one I'm pretty sure does have vanilla in the base. I don't think I was even able to find the notes for this one, so I don't know that I'll even be able to tell you what is in this. I'll try to find it. But I do think this has got some vanilla in the base. This dried down to the most beautiful, warm, kind of vintagey, kind of like a vanilla. This is amazing. If I could find a full bottle of this, I would absolutely die to have it. It's so good. Like I can't tell you enough how much I enjoyed this. And I left a good bit of this one too, so that I could go ahead and test this in the cold, because I just know it's gonna be phenomenal. Out of all of the Ton Reinthal fragrances, I think this one was my absolute favorite. This one is really, really special. And it is really special because of why it was created, in memory of Claire's beautiful Sweetie, she was such a beautiful cat. And it's amazing that she has a perfume that was made for her, and it's an incredible perfume. So anyways, that is Sweetie. That one was my favorite. And then this is Blue Lotus Tahitensis. I'm probably butchering that. I loved this one. I loved both of these Blue Lotus fragrances. Oh my gosh, this one is so good. I loved the original Blue Lotus, but this one, again, I think it might have some vanilla in it. This one is super warm. Again, it smells like it's got something maybe mossy, kind of like mossy. I don't know, it makes it, whatever that note is, it gives it this real like fluffy warmth. Oh my gosh, but there's something kind of fresh in it too. It's so good. It's just very barely sweet, a little bit skin-like. This one is so good. So yeah, I fell in love with so many of these. Sweetie was my number one. I think this one was my number two. I loved the original Blue Lotus. I loved this Heartache, the Hua Mei. I absolutely adored that one. Honey Amber, I absolutely adored. But yeah, these two were my favorite, Sweetie and Blue Lotus Tahitensis. Oh my gosh, so good. So yeah, you can see all the ones that I'm like super, super in love with. I tried to save a good bit. This one's great for the heat because this is kind of a lighter fragrance. This doesn't have to be worn in the winter, but I tried to save a lot of the ones that I'm like in love with, because I'm gonna savor these decants. They're amazing. So anyways, you guys, yeah, I can't believe I wore so many fragrances this week. This is gonna be a super long video, but I did wanna update you on all of those decants that I've been testing and all of the things that I've just been falling in love with. But I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.